Live from the campus of Westfield State University, this is 89.5 FM, WSKB, Westfield. Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by Westfield Bank. For more than 160 years, Westfield Bank has been an important community presence and commercial leader in the Pioneer Valley, with convenient full banking services in Westfield, West Springfield, East Longmeadow, Agawam, Feeding Hills, Springfield, Southwick, as well as Enfield and Granby, Connecticut. Visit us on the web at westfieldbank.org.
Oh, wow, it is Tuesday. I was about to take a sip of
You could have taken your sip. The music's still running, Bob.
Oh, the music is still... Okay, so I'll take my sip.
Is, yes.
All right. Cheers, everyone.
And Jay can introduce you.
Wow, it's Tuesday. And now, here's your host, Bob Glass.
Oh, my God.
You know, you don't quite have that resonance on that crappy little microphone at home.
Wait, let me get my other fake microphone. Here it comes.
Why don't you hook it up to your
Oh, my
thingy?
God. Look at that, mother.
Pop filter and everything. Wow.
Yeah. I'm sitting in my backyard. Isn't this lovely on the porch? Isn't this great? Yeah. Oh, there's the cat that has no name.
Hi, cat.
Yeah, I don't understand that, how you could go through life without a name, but yeah, I suppose he goes...
It does have a name. It's Cat.
It's Cat. But then the other cat here, so you have two cats, don't you, Jay?
Right, that's Cat. And the other one is named Other Cat.
It's just so peculiar. It's just so peculiar. When you're calling them, you don't call other cat, do you? You
call it other.
cat.
I don't have to call them. When they're hungry, they follow me everywhere.
So maybe this says that there really is no need for names at all. You know, you don't have to name your pet.
Hey, you.
Yeah, hey you. What was the line from the Broadway show Cats? A cat has 3 names.
Oh, that's right. Oh gosh, it's named 3 times. God, you're smarter than I am. I have no idea why. Why is a cat named 3 times?
Well, there's the name that you've given the cat,
Right. Okay,
and
gotcha.
then the name that all the other cats call the cat,
Okay, gotcha. And then
then the name that the cat has that's all his own.
that gets him into heaven, apparently.
I can't remember
On a
the
tire that
on a
rises
tire, then you're right.
that
Yeah.
rises to the ceiling.
Does that mean that at the end of the show she had the proper attire?
I think she was selected personally to go up to the nether regions. What did they call? Oh God,
Nether regions?
Heaven
No,
sent.
that's the other way.
Yeah, they're heaven, whatever. Now we know too much about cats. Did you like Cats? I really saw. I saw it like umpteen times now. But the first time I saw it, I hated the second act. I fell asleep. The second time I saw it, I hated the first act. So I put it together and I hated Cats until I saw another version and I began to like it. And then I saw the movie.
Oh, that was a mistake.
It was, except, you know what? They really tried. I think that it got a bum rap, if you pardon the expression. Everyone seemed to get a bum rap in it. And they seemed to talk about Judi Dench and the backside of James Corden more than anything, you know. And the very idea.
What's that commercial that's on right now about that's a good-looking backside?
Oh, God. It's for
a
jeans?
Jar of something.
It's for jeans, I think, right? It's for
No. It's a food, and it's a guy sitting at a farmer's market, and he's talking about people that should have a good looking. No, he's talking about anything that should have a good looking backside, and the reason his product has a good looking backside is because it's all got good ingredients in it, so it's a good looking backside. And he's talking about the label on the jar that he's holding.
A good-looking backside. Oh, but the ingredients. There's not a lot of bad things in it.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Now, the farmer behind him doesn't know he's talking about the jar that he's holding, and all he hears is, "Hey, you got a good-looking backside, huh?"
That sets up a story for another commercial. They can follow that forever and ever. The good-looking backside. Well, if you're wondering about you're not seeing our good-looking backsides today, and we're not showing them. I'm telling you.
Oh, you're seeing your good-looking backyard.
Isn't that nice back here? Yeah,
that is nice. It's very green.
Yeah, those are fake flowers.
It's tranquil.
Those are fake flowers. Incidentally.
Now, from here, I mean, it's only a small screen, but to the left or to your right, to my left, it looks like there's 2 hamburgers sitting on it.
No, over there. Okay.
Yeah, but
geez. There, I got it.
You did it to him again.
All right, yeah. There are 2
hamburgers.
2 hamburgers. James, we had that's a bench that's built into the porch, the deck, I guess you call it. And it goes a little farther, and it has 5 little pats of butter that are red or burgundy that James bought online in one of his buying sprees. And they sit there, and so they make it more comfortable for you to sit on a bench.
They're butters?
They look like little pats of butter sitting there, don't they?
I don't
lying
recall
in the sun.
ever seeing a pat of butter being red.
Oh, no, they're actually like burgundy. Oh, I know that. Oh, well, yeah, I'm just saying the shape of it looks like a pat of butter. For those who are on the radio, they want to imagine a burgundy pat of butter. That describes my deck pillows, okay?
But that would be very small. A pat of butter is about a half-inch square.
that I usually sit on with my beautiful backside.
Yeah, that's a good-looking backside.
That's a good-looking
All right.
pat of butter. Hey,
With that, let's move on.
yeah, well, let's tell everybody who we are now that we've gotten 6-7 minutes into
All
the
right,
show.
And two Mutleys.
Before
That's
we
right.
move on, what's the name of the character that laughs like that?
I just said it.
Wile E.
I-
Coyote.
No,
That's two Mutleys.
that's
Who?
Muttley. Muttley the dog.
Muttley the dog on what show?
Muttley the dog. I don't know, what cartoon was that?
Can't remember.
Yeah, and you'd give him a dog biscuit, and he'd go, yeah, never mind. All
Oh
right.
man, I am so I'm not up on my dogs.
Well, it
I
was cartoon.
I have a
That was-
downward dog basically.
That was Saturday morning cartoons. We
Wacky
did
Races, and
Saturday morning
it was
cartoons.
the 1968 television series Wacky Races, and its 1969 spin-off Dastardly and Muttley and their flying machines.
That's right.
Listen
Oh,
to
God.
you, my God, those
I
are
looked it up.
obscure. Obscure.
I looked it up.
Yeah, for one second. I love it. I love it. A little wheeze in your laugh. Do you have, when you get a wheeze in your laugh, you know that the joke is funny, right?
Weezer. That's Weezer.
Weezer.
Weezer from what was that? Now there's another
Wheezy.
movie reference.
Wheezy. There. What?
No, it was Weezer. It was somebody that the character didn't like in the neighborhood, and they called her Weezer. And never mind.
I thought that was
Wheezy from
the
Jeffersons.
Jeffersons.
That was in term of
Wheezy.
endearment, though.
Wheezy. Oh, yeah, it's a term of endearment. Wheezy was George Jefferson, wasn't he?
Was
George
his wife.
Jefferson's wife was.
Oh, was Wheezy. He called his wife Wheezy. Okay.
But that was never mind.
Oh, well, anyway, the handsome man in the box next to me is Jay Pagluka, trusty, dusty, lusty, musty, crusty, and well-modulated psychic.
Good morning, everyone.
the voice of God
yeah,
this morning.
there he. Oh, he's the voice of God, but you are the right-hand man of God, Peter Cole, sitting in the producer's seat and having worked his tail off. The school is, speaking of his beautiful tail, his beautiful backside, you've worked your beautiful backside off this season, and now you're taking a little break because school is not in session any longer, is
Correct. Yes, it's out for summer.
it? Does this mean I can park closer to the...
I told you that last week, Bob.
Oh, well, so much for my memory, folks, huh?
I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.
Hey, everybody. Today,
You got to start watching his videos on YouTube.
I just, there's a lot
He
I
is
have
one
to
of the
watch.
he is one of the smartest guys I've seen out there, and he describes space and other things very clearly and very short.
Who are we talking about here?
Scott Manley.
Scott Manley.
Yes, he's a YouTuber, but he's also an engineer and quite brilliant. Lives in Southern California.
Now, that voice sounded to me like Seth MacFarlane on Family Guy.
No.
Play that voice again.
I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.
No, wait a minute. That's not a cartoon character. Doesn't he?
No.
You mean this is a real person
Yeah.
who sounds like, but he's camping it up a bit there.
No. That's how he talks. He's
This is Bob Plass. Fly safe. How's that? Bad.
How high do you want to fly?
I don't want to fly. I want to fly. I don't want to fly. I enjoy flying, actually. I enjoy flying in a plane. I don't think I'd like to fly like a Marvel character, like a superhero. There is something about not having a floor beneath me that makes me nervous.
I can understand that since you don't have the ability to fly without a floor beneath you. However, if you did have the ability, why would that bother you?
It's to be downright honest, it's totally scary. It is totally scary. I need my feet on the floor at all times because my head is in the clouds, usually.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, we've all kind of been there.
Yeah. But like for instance, jumping out of an air now you haven't jumped out of an airplane, Jay, have you?
No, actually, as I age, the thought has crossed my mind that might be fun.
You going
But
George Bush on us?
at a like a George Bush thing, yeah.
Yeah.
But at a younger age, it always kind of bothered me why anyone would want to jump out of an airplane that's in perfectly good running condition. So, but there's a certain intrigue. You know, I've done an awful lot of crazy things in my life and had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I've never jumped out of an airplane. And I'm going, that might be something, you know, that would give me a thrill that I haven't had in a long time.
Oh, wow. Marion, here's another thrill you can throw into the mix.
Catch me when I get to the bottom.
Yeah. Oh, my God. No, she could pay for it and surprise you on your umpteenth birthday. Got a big one coming up soon? Got a big birthday coming up?
Everyone's a big one. The way I look at it is everyone's. I'm grateful for another year.
Oh, very good. Okay, got. So your next birthday, jump out of an airplane. Jump out of an airplane. Hey, Marion, I'll help you with that. Now, Peter Coles.
Wait. Is it jump out of an airplane or get thrown out of an airplane? I'm not sure.
Oh, man. I know, but I have that. I don't know if you've got this, and maybe it's a medical thing where some folks, when they stand at the edge to look like you're on a roof and you're looking over, have the feeling that they want to jump.
Oh, that's vertigo. I don't know that I have the feeling that I want to jump, but I sure as hell feel like something's pulling me over the edge. There is that. And here's an example. Yeah, you know what I do, and for fun, hanging lights and over stages and stuff. So to hang upside down, reaching out and and adjusting a light 50 feet above a stage is nothing for me, right? Or even 100 feet if I'm up in the rigging. So that's what it's part of the fun, part of the thrill of putting on a show. But I was at what they call the CN Tower up in Toronto.
Oh, I do know it. Yes, it's
many years ago.
Sure.
And and the kids were little then when we were up there, but we had to go up in the tower. Let's see what it's like. And they had something called the glass floor. I says, oh, okay. Well, what the heck is a glass floor? We'll have to check this out.
Yeah.
So we get up there, and there's a section. It's probably a 10 by 20 foot section of the floor that is literally glass. And you can look down the whatever it is, 800 feet to the ground, right through this glass. And there's kids and people walking on this thing. And there was nothing I could do to put even 1 foot on it. There's nothing in my body that let me do that.
Yeah.
I walked up to it, I looked, and my body goes, nope, don't do it.
I'm good with that. Nope.
They have that at the Grand Canyon. Then you can go across the Grand Canyon or whatever.
Oh, the glass floor.
The glass floor at the Grand Canyon.
The walkway.
Yeah.
The loop, the walkway loop there. That is cool.
Yeah. Do glass bottom boats bother you?
No.
All right. No. Neither one of you. Okay. Gotcha. Peter Coles is the man behind the camera. We didn't give him a name today. Peter Coles. He is the kitten of the Keys, everyone. Yes. Hey.
wait a minute. I have a name.
Oh, what a cute little pink bunny rabbit. Just what I always wanted, my own little bunny rabbit. I will name him George, and I will hug him and pet him and squeeze him.
Oh, I
love it. Call me George.
Oh, all right, George. All right, George. Hey, we got a great program today at 6:30. We have a panel of if all the folks come on, we have a panel of 6 wonderful people who are part of a group called Every Moment We're Alive, and they are cancer survivors, and we're going to talk because it's an
Bob, you're booking some
subject.
decent shows nowadays, huh?
I'm booking some great ones. Yeah. What are you talking to? You mean like my other ones aren't decent? Well,
they are, but you kind of get.
I'm mixing it up. Let's put
right.
it that
Yeah,
way.
you're coming up with different topics.
Yeah, different topics. So, but this is a really.
I want to get Bob on a railroad. I think we need to talk to the Pioneer Valley Railroad. Have them pull out the caboose, and we'll do a show from the caboose while they're in motion.
I think that's a great idea, and we can tape it during the day.
I would love that. Anything that we
can do a
tape during the
train
day that I don't have to
They
get
start
up
at
in the
5 o'clock in the morning. We can go with them.
Oh, all right. Okay. Gotcha. I'm ready to go on a caboose. I'm ready to, that's a beautiful behind in that train.
That's
It's a caboose.
that's a beautiful. That's a good looking
yeah,
caboose
yeah,
there, Bob.
yeah,
Who's ringing?
Yeah. Oh my God, I don't know. Why don't we play this? I'm good. I don't know. This is one of our guests calling in the middle of the
All right,
morning.
you want me to do your first song, Bob?
Huh? Yes. Hey, everybody. 85 years old. Chris Christopherson, who was a Rhodes Scholar, and he was also the superintendent, the man who the maintenance man at a record company in Nashville. And he worked his way up to one of the best super songwriters. He's 85 years old. And just in January, he announced that he's not performing any longer, nor is he doing any tours or television appearances, et cetera, et cetera. He's going to enjoy his retirement. And so I got to play. This was from his last concert. It's Emmylou Harris and Chris Christopherson singing his great 1971 song, The Pilgrim, Chapter 33. The words of this are incredible. I love this. He's such an incredible songwriter. The going up was worth the coming down. He's a poet, he's a picker, he's a prophet, he's a pusher. He's a pilgrim and a preacher and a problem when he's stoned. He's a walking contradiction, partly truth and partly fiction, faking every wrong direction on his lonely way back home. Incredible, huh? Let's listen to, Emmylou Harris and Chris Christopherson, and I'll call my cousin here and see what's happening. Talk to you.
See him wasted on the sidewalk in his jacket and his jeans, wearing yesterday's misfortunes like a smile. Once he had a future full of money, love, and dreams, which he spent like they was going out of style. And he keeps right on a changing, for the better or the worse, searching for a shrine he's never found, never knowing if believing is a blessing or a curse, or if the going up was worth the coming down. He's a poet, he's a picker, he's a prophet, he's a pusher, he's a pilgrim and a preacher, and a problem when he's stoned. He's a walking contradiction, partly truth and partly fiction, taking every wrong direction on his lonely way back home.
He has tasted good and evil in your bedrooms and your bar, traded in tomorrow for today, running from his devil's lord and reaching for the star, losing all he loved along the way.
And as this world keeps right on turning, for the better or the worse, and all he ever gets is older and around. From the rocking of the cradle to the rolling of the hearse, going up was worth
The coming down.
He's a poet, he's a picker, he's a prophet, he's a pusher, he's a pilgrim and a preacher, and a problem when he's stoned. He's a walking contradiction, partly truth and partly fiction, taking every wrong direction on his lonely way back home.
There's a lot of wrong directions on that lonesome way back home.
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Underwriting is brought to you by Boise Cascade Distribution, providing products and services needed for building material dealers, home improvement centers, and industrial customers. They offer everything from engineered wood and plywood to Drex decking and railing, James Hardy siding, and Advantech subfloor. Located at 33 Fowler Street Extension in Westfield and on the web at bc.com. They are committed to providing quality products, great service, convenience, and value.
This is Ken Stomsky from Ken's Den on WCPC 15 and 89.5 FM, Tuesdays, 8 to 10.
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 and 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday, and the date is June 22nd. We are officially into summer. It started yesterday, and I have a great program today lined up. I've got 5 or 6. We hope my cousin's having trouble getting on the Zoom or whatever, so I had to talk to her. We'll have to wait. But as you see, if you're watching us on television or if you're listening to us on the radio, well, if you're watching us on television, you're going to see the folks begin to appear on the screen. If you're on the radio, you won't listen to the folks. Oh, let's see, they're all appearing here, one after another. All right. So,
poof! Isn't that magical?
Isn't that magical? We are. Yes. Hello, hello, ladies. How are you?
Good. Do you want us to get off?
No, you're going to just stay there while we talk about other things.
We talk about everything on the show. It's kind of like a Seinfeld episode.
I know, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Good morning, Deborah. We're the founders, so now you know us.
Oh, God. Yes, yeah.
Good morning, ladies. Thanks for joining this morning.
Yeah, Jay Pegluck is up there in the corner. Bob Plass is here, and I have Peter Coles, our producer.
So before we get into your topic this morning, how many, Jay, do you have a countdown on some website to the time when 33 1/3 kicks off on stage? Because that's going to be a huge concert if you like Queen.
Well, it's going to be a huge concert if you don't like Queen. It's just
you're going to show up if you like Queen. Come on.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
And for those of you that paid for it over the winter and saw it was a great show, now it is that wonderful 4-letter word that the superintendent of schools like so much.
Snow day.
No, he hates that word. It's free.
Oh, it's free. FREE, free. Courtesy of some great sponsors, including Westfield on Weekends. So Westfield on Weekends, and oh God, what's the other? The
Gas and Electric.
Gas and Electric.
Gas and Electric.
And the city of Westfield.
New Horizons.
New Horizon. Yeah.
With Tallett's real estate.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole list of people that have stepped up to help cover the cost of our shows, and it's beginning July 24th out behind the Boys and the Girls Club with 33 1/3 Live's Killer Queen Experience. This is going to be a ball. If you like Queen, you're going to love this show. It's going to be followed up by in August with the Big 80s Dance Party,
which will be immediately following downtown. We're going to have the Westfield Whip City Brew Fest, which supports the Children's Museum.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of benefits for lots of concerts. In September, we have Jingo, which is a Santana band, and I'm really looking forward.
Oh man!
Oh, good. I'm glad.
I love that.
I love Santana.
Yeah, and then we have Pumpkin Fest, which this year, it's not just online. It is going to be online, but it is also going to be in person. And as part of that, we're going to have a dance party with this great, what is it, like a 7-piece orchestra that's coming in, or Jay, you know better than I.
They call themselves Return to Vinyl, and basically, if you like music from the 60s to the 90s, they do it all.
Gotcha.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Where are they going to do this? It's behind the South Middle School. Okay, that's, I guess,
Westfield. It's an intermediate school now.
No, it's the middle school.
Yeah, behind the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, behind the Boys and Girls Club as well, on the children's campus, as I like to call it in Westfield.
Yeah.
And you can find out all kinds of things on it at westfielandweekends.com or Westfield Concert. What's your concerts.com?
WestfieldConcerts.com will get you there as well.
Yeah, with all kinds of information. And there'll be some food trucks there at night. And also, the Shop Local Western Massachusetts folks are registering. And if you're a business and would like to be there, and from the hour before through the concert, which ends at 9 o'clock, you could sell your wares right there on this great field. So
I think the Westfield CERT team's looking for volunteers. They're going to be there as well, right?
Oh, yes, exactly it. Yeah. It's going to be a great night, and unfortunately, I'm going to be in sweltering Rehoboth, staying indoors.
Which show, August?
Yes, the July show. July show.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you have our commercial.
Hey, Bob, if you're down in Rehoboth for August 1st,
yes,
there's a space launch you can watch that's only about another 45 minutes south.
August 1st.
Antares has moved to August 1st, so you could watch it.
Man, there may be a possibility. Hey, I'll call you.
I'll give you the prime viewing location.
I would love it. I'd love to see a space launch. Then we can talk
you'd be
about
up
it.
close and personal.
You'd
You'd be able to see that thing up close and personal.
I would love it. I would love it. I don't want to go up in it because
they won't allow you, Bob. It's cargo only.
Oh, cargo. Oh,
good Lord.
Well, I've been known as cargo.
Yeah, I'll strap you to a former peacekeeper, and you could be what's that guy from the 50s that was riding the nuclear bomb down? What movie was that? Dr. Zhivago?
Man, no, Dr. Strangelove.
Dr. Strangelove.
And how I learned to love the war, or something like that. Yeah.
How I learned to love the bomb.
How I learned to love the bomb. Stanley Cooper.
Why do I know?
I'm useless cocktail information. That's what we call this.
That'll be for your game show, Bob.
Yeah. Yes, I'll use it on my game show, which we're taping. Stay tuned for Game On with Cocktails. It's a new show that we're creating, and we're taping it this Thursday night. That ought to be fun.
Luckily, this is cable, and you can get away with that.
Yeah, we can have a little drink.
I've got to bid you farewell. I'm sorry. So, ladies, hello and goodbye. I know you'll have a good morning with Bob. Nice to meet you, at least for a few moments here.
Peter, Jay, you've got to check out Every Moment We're Alive. What is it? .com? Is that everymomentwe'realive.com? Cindy?
You're muted, Cindy.
What is it?
Each moment we're alive.
Each moment. Oh my God! It's
.org.
.org. Each
moment. .org. Right.
Yeah.
Takes the village.
Oh man. Jay, thanks for stopping. We'll see you next.
Sorry, I got to jump, but enjoy the rest of the show, everyone.
Right. See you next week.
All right.
All righty. Thanks, everybody. All right. Hey, we've got Gina Curtis. Let's see. We've got Joanne. Hiya, Gina. Hiya, Joanne. And
hi.
Gina,
you guys can turn on your video if you want to. We're a TV show, too.
Yeah, we are a TV show. If you turn on the video so that we can see your beautiful faces. Even if, Gina's trying. They're trying.
There we go.
There we go.
I don't know how beautiful they are at 6:30
There's Gina.
Oh, there's Gina. And
there we go.
Neither is Bob, but he thinks he is every morning.
Yeah.
Oh, Bob's just as handsome.
Oh man. Hey, and who's the other? Now we've got Deborah Alt. That she is to my right or left, and Cindy Sheridan Murphy is to my right or left. I can never do. They're here, folks. Okay, if you're watching on television. I'm not a weatherman. I can't figure out where I am.
We got him in front of a green screen, but he can't figure it out.
This is my backyard right here. We're having a porch party right now, and now we missed someone else who's got the book, that beautiful book right there. What's your name?
That beautiful book, Each Moment We're Alive.
Yes.
I'm the other Cindy. I'm Cindy Napoli.
Cindy Napoli. Ah, lovely. Hey, so folks, we might expect there are a couple more folks. Maybe
one more, Joanne. Irina.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to seeing whenever she comes on. We'll introduce her. So, Cindy Sheridan Murphy, you sent me a little sheet, and you said, I love this question. How did an Irish Catholic woman in Massachusetts, Cindy, and a Jewish woman in Connecticut, Deborah, come together to form Each Moment We're Alive. Tell us that story.
You know, that's the best part, because Deborah and I always have fun with this. Is back in 2014, 15, when I was going through my own journey with breast cancer, I was looking for a song to do a silent video. And a woman in a network group told me about the song, Each Moment We're Alive. So I YouTubed it, I Googled it, pretty much I stalked her. I got the song, and then I contacted her, and it was like, can I use your song? I have it on YouTube. And Deborah, now your side.
Well, she caught me while I was on vacation in Narragansett. And I was so excited that somebody wanted to use the song for something that was so meaningful. So I rushed down, I hopped on my bicycle and went down to the post office. And, oh no, actually it was UPS. And I mailed it overnight. I'd always had copies of books in my car. And then we met, and it was like this instant chemistry that the seed that I had planted for the song and the book just sprouted. Cindy was so passionate and vibrant, and we just became soul sisters almost immediately. And from that point on, we sang the song at events, we did workshops, and we grew and expanded so much. And then I think it was about 2 years ago, approximately, Cindy had the idea of taking the ball and running to create a nonprofit. And at the time, I had too much on my plate to be able to do it with her, so I helped her whenever I could. And then she just made it happen, and I couldn't have been more, and I'm still bursting with pride, because what she did and what she creates, and I mean, so we had this wonderful partnership of spirit where we really believe that the seed of this book, which is, I love that she's wearing the earrings from my friend Monica, who inspired the original song and book. And this seed has sprouted to help so many women deal with the journey of cancer and their loved ones. And it just couldn't be more wonderful. It's this great partnership that just kept on growing and expanding, and it still does.
Yeah. The journey that women take on the road with breast cancer in particular is so individual. And I went online to listen to the lovely song. You're a singer-songwriter, is that right? But is that your profession, Deb? You go out there and you sing for folks?
I do. I took a little break for for COVID, but I still write songs for causes and for lots of reasons.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. So I go online and I listen to this great song, but I watched this video, and so we've got Cindy Sheridan Murphy looking at the camera, looking beautiful in a hat, and with these cards that you put up, and it tells your story. Okay. Oh, and Gina's walking again. Where's she going? Honest to God, she hasn't decided where she's going to be. She's walking all over the place. She's hogging the camera. Honest to God, I'm getting seasick here. Gina's my cousin, incidentally, so I can speak to her like that.
There we go. Sorry, I had technical difficulties as usual.
All right,
I'm still.
All right. Now you're settled. There we go. All right. Thank you. So I go online and I see you tell the story in these cards. And if you go onto YouTube and you put in Each Moment We're Alive, you'll see these cards, and the cards tell your story. Yeah. Now, so tell us quickly that story, because your story is a little different than most folks, I think, right? I
think we all have similar stories, but they're different.
Okay, gotcha.
So with my story is, when I was first diagnosed the first time with breast cancer, I had 2 lumpectomies and the doctors told me I was great. So go live your life, move on. So I pretty much just swept it under the carpet and figured so many people have it worse than me, we'll be fine. 2014, it came back with a vengeance. It came back the size of an orange, like overnight.
My word.
So then I knew I was a little bit in trouble. When I went to the doctor, to the doctors, they did it. They were commenting that with my research that I never had radiation. I never had chemo. And that's pretty much not the protocol these days. So it was scary for me because it was a triple negative breast cancer, which means it's not hormone related. And with that, it's a 15 to 20% chance of survival. The first 3 years are very critical. So when I saw the song and I wrote the cards, it was my raw moments of what it felt like the second time with just being hit over the head and what was I going to do next. And that's what I was determined to really be more in alliance with, like these ladies that are all like, we all have different journeys, but the same journey, but not to let anybody suffer alone, that no matter how minute and how strong, that you have to face your feelings and you need to deal with this that you've been given so that you can move on and have a fulfilling life.
Interesting. You are a survivor of, tell everybody how many years.
Yes, I am.
You were told that you...
7 years next week.
7 years. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. 7 years, but you were told that it was 3 years, that you only had 3 years at one point in your life?
Well, that was the high risk years where a lot of cancers are 5 years where you feel like you've gone more towards a remission. With triple negative breast cancer, there is no per se remission. They call it NED, no evidence of disease. So as I put in my notes is I still dance with Ned every day. So I'm very blessed.
Dancing with Ned. That's the name of your second book there.
There you go.
I
like that.
Yeah. So, Deborah, yourself, are you a cancer survivor?
I am not. I have, thank God, not brushed with it. However, I am the only one in my nuclear family that hasn't, of 6 people. So I lost both my parents and many good friends. So I feel like I know the journey as a loved one, as a caretaker. And my desire to write it really came from when my friend Monica came to me when she was a 5-year survivor about to... she was the chairperson for the town's Relay for Life committee, and she asked me to write a song for it. And I just immediately said yes, because I was just a few months shy of having buried my dad from leukemia. So I felt very in touch with the journey. I watched him suffer, and he had a supposedly a non-curable type, acute myelolytic leukemia, I believe it is, AML. And I immediately said yes, because that was the kind of songs that I wrote were songs for purpose, for meaning, for other people, to give voice. And so I just gathered these survivors, and we talked, and I took notes based on what they said from their experience, and I transferred them into lyrics, essentially. I transposed them into lyrics.
Sure. Now, Joanne has that book below you. What's that all about? Did Joanne come in and write a book then based on the song?
No, Joanne's holding my book.
No.
Which, thank you, Joanne. That's nice. But what that book was is it came from the song, and it was Monica and I had talked about it. And when unfortunately Monica's cancer had a different turn, and it metastasized. So we knew based on just how things were going that her time was limited. Her energy was starting to wane. And I wanted to help her leave a legacy as an award-winning photographer. And she was an incredible photographer. And we came up with this idea together to print the photographs for her legacy and illustrate them with the lyrics of the song. And it became this book. And then I went to publish it, and Wayne Dyer, who you may or may not be familiar with. He's,
of course. Oh, my God. He wrote all those big self-help books.
Yes, he's very prolific, maybe 30 or more.
Yeah, unfortunately, I
And
think he's no longer alive.
yes, in fact, I saw him a year before he died at
Yeah.
a publishing conference, and that's when he blessed the book, and he asked me to sing it in front of these people, and it just grew. It just felt like it was meant to be out there to help inspire people, and so we use it as a touchstone with Each Moment We're Alive. It's
Wow.
you know, it's a wonderful totem, if you will.
Yeah. Gina, you seem to be now you're climbing up a hill here. We in order to see you now, we have to turn our heads to the left.
There you go.
There you are.
But can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. Let's talk to the three folks. We'll start with Gina since I've been harping on her for the last whatever. So when you find out a diagnosis such as as we used to say back in the 50s, the big C, and people you would say it quietly. You can. That's a word that. Do you remember that? She's suffering from the C, and like it was something. Well, at any rate. Gina, what was when you heard that from the doctor, what was your initial reaction?
Well, like anyone, I was in a little bit of shock. And I had to wait over the weekend to find out more about it because the doctor called me at work on a Friday night at about 4:30. So there was this period of not really knowing what the cancer was. But once I found out it was DCIS, which is ductal carcinoma in situ, which is, they say, the best breast cancer you can get because it stays within the duct and it's very slow moving. I've known women who had had much more aggressive cancer, so I took it very lightly. I didn't get too upset about it. It seemed pretty workable. But then so I got a lumpectomy, and then a few months later, I developed squamous cell carcinoma. So I had to have another surgery to have my nipple removed, and then everything was fine. And I only had radiation because it hadn't traveled outside of the duct. So there was no need for chemo. Then in 2018, I was diagnosed with the exact same cancer in the exact same spot, which is very rare. And so then they had a mastectomy. So I just had a mammogram last Friday, and so far I've been okay. So I'm 3 years out, 18, 19, 20, 21.
Congratulations, boy. And if you want a clean house on West Silver Street, I live on West Silver. As you know, Gina is the person responsible for the spotless house I live in. Sort of. Yeah, sort of. She's got more stories that we'll save for another program. But yeah. So let's go over to oh my gosh, who's the lovely lady? I know it's not Joan. Oh, Cindy Napoli, of course. Cindy, how could I forget you? You've been sitting there patiently.
I'm the other Cindy.
Yeah. Yes. Cindy Napoli. Where are you from? What town?
I'm from Agawam.
From Agawam. Okay. Cindy, your experience is different. How long have you survived? And is it correct? This is an interesting thing because one of you asked me to discuss how to talk about cancer. And I wondered as I was writing my notes for the show, are you good with the words survivor? You certainly wouldn't want me to use the word victim like they used to use, right?
Oh yeah, no, we're not victims. We're definitely survivors.
But
we're actually thrivers.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So talking about the cancer, should we be afraid of talking about it? As I sit here, are there ways to talk about it that make it? How do I say? Make it easier for you folks, or open the door. Let's say
Bob,
for more
better
discussion.
question. A better question is: should we be talking about it even more? Because that brings it into the public consciousness, and that you might get more funding that way. if you talk about it more and put pressure on people like the government,
Right.
you might get more funding for cancer research than we get now because it's
Gotcha. Yes, Peter. But we do need to know how to talk about it, because there may be some ways to talk about it that folks who are survivors would not appreciate or would need to educate. Let's put it this way: need to educate. Cindy, or who wants to take Cindy?
Yeah.
Cindy Napoli.
So that's actually a 3-part question. So I'm going to answer 2 of your parts that you asked, and then I'm going to divert it to the other Cindy to answer your overall question. So for me, I'm going to piggyback on what Joanne said. We definitely are survivors and thrivers. It's not about sitting around and crying and saying, oh my God, I have cancer, I'm going to die. We're all going to die someday, right? But we're all going to live every day. And, this kind of sets it apart from what this group is all about. This group is about learning to live a new day. It's about learning to live with your cancer, learning to live with things that are that come with cancer that you don't hear about at the doctor's office. I know that's one of the other follow-up questions that I wrote down. I not only am a survivor of cancer, but I also have something called lymphedema that happened because of my cancer surgery. Lymphedema is something that people don't even know about, or they think about with people who have severe obesity or lipedema, which is like fatty cells that deposit and affect our lymph system. But people with cancer can get lymphedema if it affects the lymph system. So I had one cell. So like Gina, I had a simple breast cancer site. It was going to be an easy surgery. They get in. They didn't get out all the borders. They had to go in again. I ended up having 3 different types of cells. So 3 different types of breast cancer, and one escaped. And I had only 3 lymph nodes taken out and ended up right after the first surgery having signs of lymphedema. So one of the things I'm very vocal about is education. It's what I do as a profession anyways. I'm always educating the public about, whatever we do in my field. I'm an OT, so I'm always educating people about living a better life and doing the most that you can for yourself and things like that. But I take it one step further and I tell everybody about my cancer, not because I want people to think, oh my God, Cindy has cancer. No, this is what you need to do. And if you have cancer, guess what? It's just another name for another day, but these are the things that you can do with it. But get support, get help. Your mental health is so important. And without the right support group, without the right circle of angels, without the right tribe, you could easily go down that rabbit hole and stay there forever. And I can't say enough about our support group and what it means to me and what it has done. So for cancer, I'm a huge promoter of patient rights, advocating second opinions, telling your doctor what you feel is best, asking opinions, but really researching on your own and talking to people who've been through it.
Yes.
Going to a support group that's run by somebody who has cancer, who has had cancer and knows the process is a huge difference. And it's something you'll only find in this group.
The question that I always have is, if I see someone and they are looking different, whether they've lost their hair or are lost weight or are sallow or whatever, I always wonder, do I ask? And how do I ask? And I wonder, why don't we bring Irvina in? No, who's?
I don't think she's here yet.
Joanne. Joanne is the name I'm trying to come up with. Joanne. Hi.
Good morning.
Joanne.
Good morning.
Joanne Leary Beaudry from where?
From Holyoke.
From Holyoke. And you are a cancer survivor for?
I am a 3-time breast cancer survivor. First of all, I'd like to thank you for asking us to speak with you this morning.
Sure.
but I am a 3-time breast cancer survivor, and I say that very proudly. I was diagnosed first time when I was 34. I was a young mother with a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And I found a lump on my breast. And because I knew I had a family history, I called my doctor immediately. And fortunately, he took it seriously and he sent me to a surgeon. The lump was removed, and I was told that there was no cancer in the lump, and I was sent home. And in those days, you're talking 30 years ago.
Sure.
So in those days, the pathology took several days. So then I got a phone call saying that even though the lump was not cancer, it was sitting on cancer. So I went back in, and I then had a lumpectomy. I had all of my lymph nodes removed from underneath my left arm, and I had 6.5 weeks of radiation.
Sure.
And I'm so grateful for that lump, because without that lump, being so young, I was 6 years away from having my first mammogram, which means I would not be here right now if it hadn't been for that lump. I was fine for 23 years. And in 2014, I was diagnosed on the right side with breast cancer. I had a lumpectomy, more radiation. And my attitude at that point was, done this, been here, done that, I can do this again. A year later, I went for my yearly mammogram, and I was diagnosed on the left side again in the initial site that I'd had 23 years prior to that. So at that point, this is different because I've already had radiation on that side. You cannot radiate the breast again after having 6 weeks radiation. So I knew I was looking at a mastectomy. So after some soul searching, I decided that I would have a bilateral mastectomy. I had skin conserving surgery where they used my skin. They were able to save one nipple, not both of them. And I had implants placed. And while I was recuperating from that, I really kind of felt a disconnect from my old life. I think there's an author, Mark Nepa, who talks about his experience with cancer. And he writes, and I'm paraphrasing, but he writes, I walked into the doctor's office and I was told I had cancer. And I realized there was no door leading me back to my old life. So once you have cancer, that's kind of like a dividing line in your life. And when Cindy was talking about a rabbit hole, when you have cancer, you go down that rabbit hole and you never know when you're going to come back, pop back up again, and how, in what condition you're going to come back out again. So I think also what people don't understand is, and one of the reasons our group is so important, is that people think that once you're done with treatment, you're all better, that you're fine. And cancer takes at least a good year out of your life to heal physically, but it takes longer emotionally to heal. And that emotional healing doesn't really happen until you're done with your treatments. You can't even absorb what's happening to you while you're going through it. So afterwards, when I had time to kind of sit there and think about what happened to me, I really did feel like a disconnect from my old life. I felt like I was a square peg trying to fit back into a round hole. And I thought, I could use some support here. And that's when I met Cindy. And she was talking about this program. I knew that I wanted to help other women through this journey. I especially knew I wanted to help young women because I realized dealing with it the third time that I had never dealt with the first and second time. I was a young mother. I was busy. I was working full time. I was done with treatment. I kind of pressed all those feelings down and went on with my life. So when I was home after recuperating, actually somebody had given me a journal to write in. And I remember thinking, thank you very much, but I probably won't use it. But while I was home, I started to write. And oh my God, all these feelings came out. And I decided to turn that into a blog. Not like Cindy Napoli said, not to make people, I don't want people to feel sorry for me. I certainly don't want that. And no cancer survivor wants you to feel sorry for us. But I wanted to share my journey so that if there were other women out there, maybe this would help them, especially young women. Because I found as a young woman, there weren't a lot of peers. None of my peers had gone through breast cancer. I was so young. And there really wasn't a place for me in the breast cancer community. So it was isolating. I felt very alone and isolated. I had a wonderful support group with my family and friends, but it's really in a support group where you're with other people that have gone through cancer that get it. Like only, so many times in our meetings, someone says, "Oh, I have an appointment with my oncologist on Tuesday," and we all go, "Oh, like, I have a bone scan." Oh, we get that, where other people who have not been through that would get that.
Yeah.
So,
well, Cindy,
anyway.
Cindy, I got a question. So
Sure.
I meet you on the street, and I hear you've been going through a hard time. How do I broach this subject? If I and should I broach the subject to you? Well, give us your thoughts on that.
All right. Is it for me, Cindy, or the other Cindy?
Well, you can both answer. Why don't we? Yeah.
I'm going to say Nina's
Cindy,
on now.
Yeah.
Cindy Napoli, how do you start, and then Cindy Sheridan Murphy will come in.
Oh, wow. If somebody asks me if I have cancer.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep thinking that Joanne is Cindy. Oh.
I think everybody should just be named Cindy.
Why don't we just call everybody Cindy?
That would eliminate a lot of problems.
That would be, yes.
It's a great name.
Yeah. Well, Joanne, I didn't want to stop talking to you. I was asking a continuous question here. Yeah. Joanne, in terms of that, how...
I never had a problem with people asking me how I was. What I do have a problem with is them feeling like they have to share with me every single relative or everybody that they know that has ever had cancer, and particularly people that aren't doing well. So I remember after my surgery, a friend of mine called me and she spent 20 minutes telling me about all the people that she knew that had breast cancer that weren't doing well. And then she wanted to come over and visit. And I thought, I'm thinking to myself, oh, heck no, I can't sit and listen to this. So, So we certainly don't need to hear that. We only need to hear good news. And don't tell me about a great aunt like 50 years ago who had breast cancer. Another thing is, you've heard all our stories. So you know that under this umbrella of breast cancer, there are so many different scenarios. Those are so many different options and treatments and surgeries. And it goes on and on and on. You could have 10 women in a room and we all have a different story. So, don't question my treatment because your cousin had a different surgery or had different treatment, or how come you didn't have chemo, they had chemo. That's not helpful. That really isn't helpful. But certainly it's fine to ask how we're doing.
So can I say I was sorry to hear that you got some bad news. What do you think? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, that would be fine.
That's good.
With me, I would be. Yeah.
Yeah, Cindy Murphy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and Joanne then. Yes.
No. Oh, the other Joanne. You know what you can do?
This is like who's on first.
Yeah, really.
I remember
that.
My
computer went down and I had to go outside and go on my phone. My internet, my house is off.
I love it. I love it.
You know what? I will say what you can do if you find out somebody has cancer.
Yeah.
Offer to bring them a meal.
Yes.
Offer to do their laundry. Offer to clean their house.
Absolutely.
Because you know what? When you have that surgery, it's the most painful surgery I have ever been through. And I gave birth 3 times and had a traumatic C-section. And there's no pain like breast surgery. And you just, your whole, again, do we feel sorry for ourselves? Yep, there are times. I'll take back what I did say.
Yeah, there are times.
In that moment of post-surgery is the hardest time to pick yourself back up. You don't feel human.
Yeah.
You don't feel like a woman. You don't feel good about life. You don't want to pick up. You don't want to clean. You don't even want to see people.
Sure.
So if you're coming over, offer to bring food, offer to bring, maybe not even offer, bring it.
Right. That's, I was
bring
going to say that.
Meal.
Cindy, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Just bring it, because I remember when people would ask me, and it was a really big question was, I don't know what to do. I don't know how you're feeling. How can I help you?
Yes.
But if you ask me what I'd like, and everything. I didn't like anything at the moment. So I think on Cindy's thing is bringing something over, friends stopping over. I made what I called a 5 o'clock club. I shouldn't say it, my friends did. I told them, like, I really have a hard time going from that sundown syndrome of transitioning from 4 o'clock to like 7 o'clock. So it was like this, now you're feeling alone, you're by yourself. So my friends kind of organized this behind the scenes where every night around 4:35, somebody stopped over or called. And it was nice because we called it the 5 o'clock club because it started that they would just come and they would visit.
Sure.
They would call me. They would kind of talk through that time of day, but they didn't ask really a lot to me. They just were themselves and they were there for me.
So when you like I'm the man who doesn't I'm going to go to the Big Y and buy you some flowers and come on over. I knock on your door and I go, hi, I haven't seen you in a long while. I'm just here because I heard the news and I wanted to do something. And so
perfect.
That's it?
Yeah. And then you say, I'm thinking of you.
And I just thinking of you, and if you'd like me to come in and bend your ear for the next 14 hours, I'm willing. I'm right here. You know, yeah. Hey, we've got.
But remember, we don't have a lot of energy, so 10 minutes is probably enough.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe 3 minutes with me. I don't know. You might say, Bob, I'll give you 2 minutes. You know,
sometimes people come and you feel like you have to entertain them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that stuff we talk about in our groups is like, I don't feel like being entertained. I like that you're here. You just even dropping the flowers off, saying I'm thinking of you.
Right.
That might be all you really need to do at that moment.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a new person. You were hanging from the ceiling for about 3 seconds there, Irvina.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That's a way to make an entrance.
Really? Make an entrance. My God, I said she's really something else. It's a circus performer.
She is something else.
Yeah, I bet you are. Irvina, tell us your whole name. And Irvina Scott Robbins. I got it right here. And
that's me.
Yeah. Irvina, where are you from?
Well, we live in Agawam.
Oh, gotcha. My old stomping ground. I used to teach there at the high school back in the 60s and the early 70s. So I know you weren't even a twinkle in your daddy's eye. I don't think you were at all back then. So Irvina, tell us your story, just quickly, and then we're gonna take a break, and then we're gonna come back. I'm gonna play that song so everybody can hear the beautiful Each Moment We're Alive, which is really a terrific song. But Irvina, tell us your story.
Well, I started my cancer journey in 2016. I have what they call head and neck cancer. I found a lump right under my ear, doing a facial and a massage, and went to the dentist, went to the doctor, yada, yada, yada. Comes out, it's cancer. It was stage 3, and it was in my parotid gland, which is another word for spit gland. I just like to say the word spit.
Spit.
So one of my major spit glands was removed with a lot of tracing because it had broken out of its bubble, and did chemo and radiation. The surgery was easier than the chemo and radiation, but got through that. And then, let's see, late 2018, I was diagnosed with metastatic parotid cancer, which had moved into my lungs, esophagus, and lymph nodes.
Oh my gosh.
Because head and neck cancer is a spreader, because this is sort of like a great gateway into everything else. We thought we got it, but we didn't. And then last month I found out that we have another little ditzel right in here.
Yeah.
In the lymph node that my dentist found during my dental exam. So it's moving some more. And I'm still gonna kick its can.
Wowee. Honest to God, you know, Irvina, as you tell your story, it just strikes me the matter, and this sounds so. Well, I'll say it. It's just you're able to speak with such honesty and courageous honesty about this is where I've been, and this is where I am as well. It just strikes me with all of you wonderful women that you're all able to talk about your stories in a real. There's a positive spin, but you're also telling the truth, which is just beyond me. That I would be going humma 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 sometimes.
Well, that happens. That does happen.
It does.
But
Yeah.
you've got to push it through, and you got to say, I'm in it, and until I'm not in it. So that's it.
Uh-huh. And you all are participating in Each Moment We're Alive. This is a not-for-profit. It's a support group. Cindy, Sheridan Murphy, would you tell us just how folks, if indeed they have to go to work or they attend to their kids or whatever, and they want to find out more information, how?
Well, yeah, so we are a support group, but what we're really about is the support of living with cancer and living after cancer. You can find us at Each Moment We're, WERE, alive.org.
Mm-hmm.
You can contact me.
There's no apostrophe.
No apostrophe in the hyperlink, yes.
Yes.
And they can contact me, Cindy, at eachmomentwe'realive.org, or they can call me. And I had two ladies call me yesterday, which went back to your previous question of somebody was at a tag sale. The woman at the tag sale said, I know this group, call this lady. And we got in touch. But it's 413-204-4682.
Say that one more time slowly for folks.
Sure. 413
Yeah.
204-4682.
4682 204-4682.
You got it.
Okay, so get that. Those phones will be ringing. You'll be ringing off the hook. Yeah. Hey, we're Irv. We're gonna. Do you mind? We're gonna come back for give us the permission to come back, and after we hear Cindy Lynn Alt's, Deborah Lynn Alt's. Oh my God, Deborah Lynn Alt's beautiful song, Each Moment We're Alive. Why don't we play that?
Hey, Bob, you never got me that song.
I don't. No, no, it's in the it's in your.
Yeah, there's no link to it, Bob.
There isn't a link to it. Oh,
no.
For God's sakes! Oh
Do
my.
you want me to send you one?
Yes, Peter. Why don't you do
Yes,
that?
that'd be helpful. Then
Yeah.
we could play it in the next break. So what
Yeah.
do you want to play now, Bob?
Okay, so why don't we play "I Can See Clearly Now" by Johnny Nash?
We can do that.
Yeah, I think this is from our Wisconsin music director who said he always gets such hope from this song, and then I listen to the lyrics, and as I hear you all talk, it's just like you all see clearly about this topic and this part of your journey.
I think they see clear about life, Bob.
Period.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cancer does that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I can see clearly now. Johnny Nash. We'll be back in a bit.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright,
Support for community radio on WSKB is provided by Betts Plumbing and Heating Supply Company, an independent, family-owned wholesaler serving Westfield for over 50 years, specializing in plumbing, heating, and industrial piping supplies. On the web at bettsplumbing.com or at 14 Coleman Avenue in Westfield.
Support for the community programming of WSKB is provided by the Dunkin' Donut Shops of Westfield and the Sardinia family. It's nice to know that even as the world changes, Dunkin' Coffee remains the same at 7 convenient locations throughout Westfield.
Join us every Thursday morning
from 6 until at least 7:30.
Check out the Bobby G and Company Show
right here on WSKB 89.5
Community Radio.
89.5 WSKB.
Live from Studio 120 at Westfield Technical Academy, this is WCPC Channel 15 at 89.5 FM, WSKB Westfield.
Wow, it is Tuesday morning and it is June 22. We're right into summer and it's a beautiful day out, and it's a beautiful day here on the show because we've got Pete Coles in the control room, my producer, and we've got 6 wonderful, wonderful women here with us today. Each Moment We're Alive is the name of the group. It's a support group. You can go to eachmomentwe'realive.org and hear about the group, which was founded by Deborah Lynn Alt and Cindy Sheridan Murphy. And raise your hands there, folks. The camera wave. Cindy Murphy is down at the bottom, and Deborah is up at the top. There we go. All righty.
Hey, Bob, you know the 2 words I think of when I think of women? Anybody who survives cancer.
Yeah.
I think of 2 words, super and strong.
Super and strong.
And I take that from my grandmother.
Uh-huh. Did she have breast cancer?
Yes, and then she had a more aggressive form of cancer, but this was in the 1970s when I was a kid.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and she, to see her grandkids grow up where we would remember her, she took every form of cancer treatment test, and this was everything when everything was in testing. I'm talking like in the 70s and early 80s. She took every form of cancer treatment, any survey, any test, any study that came out, just so that we could remember her, and I remember her being around
she could be there as long as she could possibly
for
be.
our memories, yeah. And I remember her out and about when I was young, and then I couldn't have been more than 3rd or 4th grade when she passed away. But I remember being with her, and I remember her being alert and surviving as long as she could, so that we would all have memories of her.
Mm-hmm. Surviving and living, which is a better word for you guys? Somebody want to take that? Is that a
I'd say living. I really think Joanne makes a really good point where she says, I'm not going to let cancer take steal one more day of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we go with the strong word of thriving, living. What am I doing today?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wondered, I wrote down the word because somebody once said to me, don't ever use the word, how are you coping? Because coping just sort of, it has some kind of weak connotation to it, isn't that?
It implies resignation to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irvina, which is your favorite word out of all the words we just been talking about?
Cancer kicker.
Cancer kicking.
Yeah.
Cancer.
I'm a cancer kicker.
Wowie. I wonder, when you wake up every day, is there a mantra that you have? Do you use?
Thank you, God.
Yeah.
For waking me up.
I think
Regardless of
that's
the aches
kind
or the
of
pains or whatever, I'm upright. I'll take it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You know, a lot of people have asked me, because I've been diagnosed 3 times, aren't you afraid that your cancer is going to come back? And my feeling is, my mantra is that I can't give up today worrying about tomorrow. Today is too precious, and today is all we have. So if you're constantly worrying about what's going to happen tomorrow, you're giving up today.
Yeah. And it just seems to me that the past, the present, and the future I think, and we've all learned through COVID, I think, that time is so fluid. I mean, like, the moment is much more important than tomorrow or yesterday, because the moment is the only place that we can do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
When you had to tell your family, telling your families, was that more difficult than anything? Cindy, you're shaking. You
Yeah,
shook it.
I have to say that's where I always quote the first line of the song, and I always mess it up, but it's like, please don't offer sympathy. It's hard for me to see how you feel sorry, is because the pain of looking into your daughter's eyes or your son's eyes or your mother's eyes and saying, I have breast cancer, I'm scared. You know, my husband, I was scared for him because the look he's giving me. That I didn't even have him come to my doctor's appointment. I had my mom come because I was so worried about him. Like, I needed a rock, and, you know, we kind of know our moms would do that.
Sure.
And so it was like, I had that, because when people look at you and they give you those puppy dog eyes, that does not help.
Oh, really?
Oh, that is like the worst feeling, because they look at you like you're going to die. And here you're like, no, I'm just telling you, I have cancer.
Like I am going bald, or
Right.
you know.
And I'm freaking out, and it's going to be okay, because I'll deal with it.
But to do that for every day, I mean, like I know that some days I wake up and I'm I suffer from depression and anxiety, and of course, like every other American, I'm medicated for that. You know, and I always speak about it on this show and other places, because it's not that I'm because I'm usually not depressed, but but on the days that I feel kind of logy or whatever, I recognize the difference between my physical being and my emotional reaction. But there's something else. There's more of my spirit, or there's something different than my physical being. I don't know. What do you guys call it anything? Gina, do you see a separate thing? I mean, is your cancer separate from you? In other words, I am not my cancer. I am not my hair. Gina Curtis?
Yeah, I'm listening. It's just part of my journey, I guess I would put it. And the reason I go to this support group is to help others and to be helped. And depending on the day, I could be helped or others could be helped. And I just wanted to say that I didn't think I needed a support group. And a lot of people are very private about their cancer. But the best thing I ever did was find the support group, because it helped me far beyond the doctor's office. And I've been able to help people and make friends, and they've helped me. And it's just been wonderful. So it's just part of life's journey to me, you know, and every day presents a new problem or something else. And you just kind of deal with it, and you have friends to lean on, people to call. I can call Cindy anytime. She answers the phone 95% of the time. She's always there for me. And everyone, you know, so it's been a real lifesaver.
I wonder, let's see, Joanne, why don't you take this one? I wonder, are there days, are there tears involved in this journey? You know,
are there tears involved?
And how do you deal with your tears?
Oh, yeah. Well, especially when you're newly diagnosed. You know, I go back to when I was first diagnosed. I had a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. That was so scary. I didn't know if I was going to survive to see these boys grow up. So that was scary. And looking at my husband, he was thinking, is he going to have to, will he be a single father, or, you know, bringing up these boys? That was very scary. Now, not as many tears. I really, really work on choosing joy every day. I'm not always successful, but I get up every morning and I meditate. And the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I say, I am blessed, I am blessed, I am blessed. I say that 3 times. And that kind of sets the tone for my day. But yeah, I have bad days like everyone else. And, I still hate going to my oncologist and having tests done. But basically, I do try and choose joy because I don't want to waste. As Cindy told you, I always say, I refuse to give one more day of my life to cancer. It's had enough of my days, so I'm not going to give cancer any more days of my life.
Mm-hmm. How about you, Cindy Napoli, in terms of dealing with those days that you're not feeling well, maybe emotionally or physically or both?
Yeah, I pulled out the Kleenex when you said you're going to play the song, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know you were going to do that. That song hits me every time. I've heard it
Yeah.
for 3 years. Sometimes I play it over and over and over. It's such a beautiful song, but you just hit a note when you said, the day of your diagnosis, what did you do with your kids? And that brings back true life emotions for me because it's going to be 3 years coming up. And I was diagnosed on the day of my oldest daughter's birthday.
Oh my gosh.
And I had to tell her. And she actually came to the doctor's appointment with me, and she traveled from Boston to be with me.
Uh-huh.
And it was so hard. It was her 27th birthday. And then my second surgery to clear the borders and to get the third type of cancer out was the day of my youngest daughter's 21st birthday. And, it's just like all these things happen. Life still goes on, and there's family events, and there's birthdays, and there's, cancer just sticks its ugly head in there. And we're not always happy and cheerful and everything. We do still cry and we still have emotions, but this is where we get the support. It's like sometimes the support groups, like Gina said, we're there to support others and to help encourage others. And then other times we're the ones that are the babbling criers who it just takes one thing to trigger an emotion, and it's like a floodgate you can't stop.
Who's the crier in this group here?
I think we'll all raise our hands.
I think it all depends on the day.
Yeah.
Depends on the trigger.
It
really does.
Yeah.
Except for Arvina uses jokes.
Pardon? You use jokes. Humor.
Arvina's our funny one that she will stay behind it, and she uses a lot of humor.
Is that correct, Arvina?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite comedian?
You have to pick one.
George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Bill Burr. Tons.
Yeah.
Craig Ferguson. Depends on my mood.
Yeah. See, what if I were a man? Could I join your group? Because I know that men do suffer from breast cancer. What, Cindy?
What we have is we do a couple different groups. We have an all breast cancer group, which we'll do every other week, and then we have an all women's cancer group. So that's our going through cancer. So we do have a gentleman that is breast cancer.
Uh-huh.
So why we've opened it to all cancers is because not everybody has breast cancer.
Yeah.
And they're also seeking support. And when I was doing groups, I found that more and more of what about Arvina, or we have, our dear friend Mary, and different people that came and said, well, what about me? Mm-hmm. And so the reason Each Moment We're Alive is more women is because I understood women. I understood my feelings, hormones. So I don't know what it's like to be a male going through the daily lives of, or the breadwinner, and they're taking care of a family. They have a whole different set of emotions. I had a gentleman that came to me and said, I want to run a men's division. It would be awesome. But right now I feel men and women, some of the stuff we talk in our groups, it's not all cancer. It could be our family life. It could be our husbands, our spouses, our kids.
Your challenges. I mean, like challenges. Yeah.
So we don't have just cancer. We have life.
Oh,
so,
yeah. And let's face it, this, especially during the last year or maybe 4 or 5 years or whatever, has been really challenging in a lot of different ways for all of us.
Mm-hmm.
And to be able to use your journey to help others to meet the regular challenges of life. I worked in AIDS in New York City with homeless people who were substance users who had AIDS. And people would always say, geez, it sounds like such a depressing work. And I would always say, joyous from the day I go to work in the morning to the end of the evening. But more to the point, I have learned more about living life from my my clients, my patients, than I have from anyone, because the techniques, the tools that you folks have to get up every day and face the day and its challenges in a physical way are not unlike the challenges that I face, or the tools that I need to get up and face my own. As a 70, I'll tell you something, as a 76-year-old, and Peter, our producer, can tell you, I'm turning 76 in November, and mortality is one of those things that I deal with, and as I get older, and I worry, et cetera, about leaving wonderful people like my cousin in the middle there, et cetera, and wanting to be here as long as possible. It's not unlike that struggle that we all face, but particularly to have a group around you like this that you can hug and laugh with and cry with. Unbelievable. Yeah. Unbelievable. Yeah. Hey, Peter, did you get that song? Are we able to?
I got to tell you that I sent it to Cindy because I didn't have an email address. Do you want to give me
I think I found it on YouTube.
Look at you.
I think
you can get everything on YouTube.
As I said, if you send it to me, my internet went down, so my phone's in the house. I don't know where I am. I might be going to the neighbors next.
Well,
I got it. It said the making of the musical and photographic story. That's how they labeled it on YouTube.
Or we have Deborah singing live, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I can send you the link, or I can.
I think
sing it live. Sing it live.
Bob,
how about?
No, it's early in the morning.
They
haven't even had their second coffee. Yet.
She can sing any time of day.
No, I know I have it. If I don't have it, then we can go back. We can fall back on a line.
Well, why don't you give me your email and I'll give you the direct link.
Yeah. Well, it should be on the email from Bob. He copies me on everything.
I don't have it because I got it from.
Oh, got it from Cindy.
Well,
okay.
Why don't we try it, Bob, and then we'll go from there.
All right, let's take a chance here, and then we'll come back and we'll do it live.
Well, because I think that video is not just the song. The video is me telling the story of the making of it. It's not just the song.
That's okay.
Oh, okay. All right, fine.
How long is it?
It's fine, Bob.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Play it away, Sam.
Each moment we're alive, and every breath we take is a gift. It's a chance for us to enjoy love, beauty, and friendships. My friend Monica was a photographer, and she was so full of life and passionate about capturing the beauty of the world with her camera. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I write songs for different causes. So it was natural for Monica to ask me to write a song to help inspire cancer survivors. And musically, that became Each Moment We're Alive.
For each moment we're alive, for every breath with every sigh, how the world will be so different from now on.
Monica was a remarkable presence at American Cancer Society Relays for Life and other survivor events, and she truly loved the song. We were a great team. First, she would speak inspirationally, and then I would sing as she led other survivors to sing along. Monica really thought she'd beaten cancer for the second time after a 5-year remission, but it came back with a vengeance. It was then that we decided to combine her award-winning photographs with the song lyrics. It became a marriage of our passions, her photos and my music. My friend was gone, but cancer certainly was not. It further invaded my life, taking even more friends and family too. My dad had died from leukemia and my mom from lymphoma. I cared more deeply than ever about the song and about creating a tribute to so many I loved.
Some say cancer cannot cripple love, shatter hope, or be anything.
Meanwhile,
but
I went to a
angry.
Hay House publishing conference to learn more about publishing the book. And there, Dr. Wayne Dyer asked me to sing the song in front of hundreds of people in the audience. And it was really well received. It was really exciting.
It's a beautiful title. What did you write it?
I did.
Do you sing
Yes, I do.
it? Sing it.
Okay.
Each moment we're alive.
Each moment we're alive.
I mean, a lot of people in here with cancer, including me.
Okay,
Go ahead.
I can do that.
Good.
Okay. She doesn't want your sympathy or anything that makes her feel a victim. From everything that can inspire, in trust that life will give us what we need. In each moment we're alive.
Wow.
Thank you. Thank you. Wayne Dyer's endorsement now graces the cover of the book. That amazing, exciting experience at the conference inspired me to make the best possible recording of the song, and where better than Nashville, Tennessee? My goal was to record the song along with others for my new album to be included with the book.
Please don't offer sympathy.
The world-class musicians that I work with quickly caught my vision. It's so much fun to feel the song take shape as the tracks are laid down. Everyone in the studio tuned into what we were doing. We were creating and releasing a burst of positive energy into the world. Each moment we're alive became the song I dreamed it would be. I still love singing it every chance I get.
For each moment we're alive, for every breath with every sigh.
My goal is to continue to inspire and encourage people touched by cancer through my music and Monica's images, to enjoy and savor each and every moment that we possibly can. I know we haven't stopped cancer yet, but we can still stand up and cheer for each moment we're alive.
Thank you all.
It's wild.
Now
So
that's a good teaser to go find the song in the book.
Ah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you.
Do I know marketing or what?
There it is. There's the
I was
book.
just gonna say, and that's a good thing to talk, because the song began this. Now, when I had done the original video and sent it to Deborah, it happened to be I was going back and forth. Got it to Deborah the morning Wayne Dyer passed away.
Oh gosh.
Now
Oh,
we say there's no such thing as coincidences.
no, no, not at
So
all.
that was a huge thing. And not knowing she had done it in Nashville, I recorded it with a cowboy hat on down by our quads. And the reason for the hat was because my hair was still very sparse. So I was a little vanity at the time of like, well, I got to put the hat on, I got to do this. And so talk about the way things came together.
Serendipity, yeah,
Really was. And now it's so I guess our thing with the group is we're more than just meeting with support groups, because a lot of people say, oh, I have a support group here, support group there, but we go beyond that. And that would be great to find out from these ladies, like, how did we do that?
Yeah. I mean, like, how did you do that? Somebody, Irvina, how did you find out about the group, and were you trepidatious in meeting all these?
Or alive, and that that we are going to continue to fundraise, and the fundraising goes towards supporting the programs that are all kept in this area. And it truly is a blessing that we have Cindy's drive and motivation to bring the programs to the area, because we all benefit from it. but it's the future women that come into the group that are definitely benefiting and going through these programs free of charge and getting the books and getting the support and getting, you know, the use of the programming besides the support groups. So we haven't paid a penny for anything that we've done. And, you know, it's really nice to have the support of other women.
Yes, it is.
So we're just praying that Maggie's not in heat and she's going to be a good girl at the walk.
That's it.
If she is, she'll have diapers on. So don't ask why she's wearing diapers.
Yeah. That's a good question. Don't ask why, you know.
Don't ask why, just accept it, girls.
And a bodyguard.
And a bodyguard, that's Michael.
That's true.
Michael's
So
first Sunday off.
So I just got news that Bob's internet went down. So hopefully this
Oh,
all
you're
got
kidding.
recorded. Because this is the part we need to talk, let people know about.
You're right.
He'll just
Well,
have to
welcome
come
to
back,
live
but not at
TV.
6:30.
So
No.
so we're not sure, but that's why I just kind of pick up because, you know, that's where I just go. Deborah, do you feel like singing the song to kind of?
Sure.
How
work out
long
with
is the show? Go on, Cindy.
We've only got a couple more minutes, so I thought while we're waiting for Bob, why don't we take over because this is our gig.
Okay. All right, let me go grab the guitar. Hold on.
Okay. Arvine, anything last to say?
Let's see. Everyone needs to come out, support, virtual, in person, with a dog, without a dog, with a moo who's watching squirrels and chipmunks and everything at the feeders. This Sunday, June 27, Irish Cultural Center, 11 to 3. Support, 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 because you never know when you or someone you know needs support.
That's right.
Right. Okay, Deborah, take it away.
Okay. Please don't offer sympathy. It's hard for me to hear how you feel sorry. Some say we're closer to a cure each day. But still my body turns away to betray me. What I really want is for you to know just what it is when my story's told that sustains me. It's a strength that somehow makes its way through all the words and the simple faith that I'll make it. Some say cancer cannot cripple love, shatter hope, or be anything but angry. When you work so hard to stay alive, you need a reason pushing you to strive to keep going. It's a message, it's a wake-up call, it's a plea to understand it all and find meaning. For the scary roller coaster ride and the hope that never leaves my side for long. In each moment we're alive, with every chance we let slip by. There's something to remind us why we're here. In each moment we're alive, in what it takes to have survived. The beauty of our presence is so clear. Counting off my milestones, count on friends and loved ones to stick by me. I'll keep holding on to miracles, or better still, the strength of will to beat this. I can't believe I went through all this pain to say that it's been all in vain. It's changed me. Now I spread the word of what I know, what it means to take it slow and be grateful. For each moment we're alive, with every breath with every sigh. How the world will be so different from now on. In each moment we're alive, I want to feel my heart's desire. Toss caution to the wind and reach beyond. In each moment we're alive, we follow joy, we carry pride, empowered to be all we're meant to be. In each moment we're alive, from everything that can inspire. Trust that life will give us what we need. In each moment we're alive.
Awesome. Yeah. So
Thank
we
you,
don't
Deborah.
know where we are, what we're doing, but we do know that we're living each day, every moment, and I guess we're gonna just hope Bob gets back to us.
Yeah.
Poor Bob.
And Gina lost it too.
Difficulties.
Yeah.
Gina lost it, so it must be something going up the highway because I lost
Yeah.
it now.
Are you
Gina
guys
lost it.
are you guys getting storms?
There's now the
No,
sun's out here.
It was
Because
raining earlier.
The sun was out this morning, and now the clouds are coming. So maybe there's a storm
Oh.
coming.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Let me check my lymphedema.
Yeah. So now we're laughing is because Gina's like all power. They list all power lost. So I'm like, great. So
Oh.
the best part of our segment is gone, but we're living. We're,
Well, you know what though? Maybe just throwing it out there. If he wants to do something at 8 o'clock tonight, we just throw it back on for 15 minutes because I think it's important that he attaches
I definitely do.
like the dog walk because that's the whole reason for this.
And
Right, I
living a new
know.
day. Because living
and
a new
living
day
a new
is
day. Like
we
I don't know what
moved
part you
beyond-
cut out on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cindy, on mine it said recording.
well, I had
Did you
Deborah
get
start
it? 'Cause-
recording it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I
But I
didn't know if
didn't
he
do
was
it. I
recording.
didn't think right away. As soon as he
Oh.
went off, I saw Deborah's the host.
Oh.
So
Yeah. And I'm texting Cindy going, I think he's not here.
so Gina texts me
How am I the host?
because you were the first one on. So it automatically deflected
Oh.
to you.
Oh,
So
So maybe you could send what you recorded to him.
yeah, but we missed you and me talking.
Oh,
and we,
oh.
but
Yeah,
we did get
the
Cindy
first
and
5 minutes of
talking.
it was
So
gone. Yeah.
Oh.
I will forward it to him and see what he says. And
Yeah.
that was the thing was the dog walk and why we do living a new day.
Right,
We did the
right.
beginning. It was supposed to be the beginning and living new day, then the dog walk, but he
yeah, and
unfortunately
I also don't know what the point was of playing the video of me telling the story of writing and recording the song, but whatever.
but it's
Yeah,
because
man.
That's all he had. That's all he was able to get off YouTube.
but I say somebody upstairs decided that was the one he was picking. So
Yeah.
guess
I
what?
gotta go to work, ladies. If you decide,
right, so-
text me. I
and
don't
I will
always get to
find
all my
out from
emails.
him and I
Okay.
will give him a call and all right, so
All right, love you
Deborah, you
guys.
have to end
Goodbye, everybody. Love you.
Deborah, you have to
a
end
good day.
record.
I have
Okay.
to what? End it? Okay.
End it and then it's gonna say to save it.
Okay. I'll save
And
it.
just save it so that way you have it. So love you guys.
Bye.
Love you.
Have a great
Bye.
day.
Guess I get to go for my
Thanks, Bob.
mammogram.
And Gina.
Thanks, Bob.
Another turning point, a fork stuck in the road. Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go. So make the best of this test and don't ask why. It's not a question but a lesson learned in time. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. So take the photographs and still frames in your mind, hanging on a shelf in good health and good time. Tattoos and memories and dead skin on trial. For what it's worth, truth all the while. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. It's something unpredictable, but in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.